Good morning, children. Since our childhood onwards, we have been learning about sense organs. So what are sense organs? Sense organs are present in our body, such as eyes, we are able to see. Next, ear, we are able to hear. Nose, to smell. Tongue, to taste. And skin, to touch or feel. So today we are going to learn about the sense organ eye, because it has several importance in our daily life. So children, do you know how we are able to see things? When light enters in our eyes. So first of all, we will learn about light. See, when light enters directly, we are able to see the object, or it reflects back and comes. Then we are able to see the object. So this can be done with the help of mirror also. It changes the direction and we are able to see the object or the image. Next, what is a ray? A ray is a narrow beam of light, and several such narrow beam of light unite together and we see in the form of light. So let us see some of the topics or the terms related with the topic light. So first of all, we will see about reflection. What is meant by reflection? So the scattering back of light by mirror or shining surface is known as reflection. So light enters, scatters back. Here light enters, again scatters back. This is called reflection. Here I have drawn a diagram. We have taken a mirror. Here I have taken this as normal. And one ray of light is entering to the mirror and getting reflected back. So this is called the incident ray, and this ray is called the reflected ray. And this is called angle of incidence, and this is called angle of reflection. And this point is called point of incidence. So with this diagram, we are able to learn the laws of reflection. Let us see. So first of all, what is meant by incident ray? The ray of light which falls on the mirror. This one. The ray of light which falls on the mirror is called incident ray. Next one, what is meant by point of incidence? The point at which incident ray falls on the surface of the mirror. This is the incident ray. Here it falls on the surface of the mirror. This is the mirror. So it is known as the point of incidence. Now let us see what is meant by reflected ray. The ray that comes back from the surface of the mirror, here, this is incident ray, and this ray which comes back from the surface of the mirror after reflection is called reflected ray. Next, let us see what is meant by normal. A perpendicular, that is a line making an angle of 90 degree. Here, this line which makes the angle of 90 degree. If you measure, this will be 90 degree from here to here. At the point of incidence here, this is the point of incidence, where the incident ray strikes the mirror is known as the normal to the reflecting surface of the point. So this line is called the normal. Next we will see what is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. So this angle is known as angle of incidence. Which one? The angle between the incident ray, this ray, and the normal is called angle of incidence, and we denote by angle I. This one, this area is called angle of incidence. Next one, the angle between the normal and the reflected ray is called the angle of reflection. So this is the normal and this is the reflected ray, and this angle is known as the angle of reflection, and it is denoted by angle R. Children, now let us see what does law of reflection states. So laws of reflection states that the angle of incidence, angle I, this angle I, is always equal to the angle of reflection, this angle. So angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. That's why we write angle I equals to angle R. Next law is the incident ray. This one, incident ray, the normal at the point of incidence. This is the normal at the point of incidence, and the reflected ray, this ray is called the reflected ray, all lie in the same plane. So all of them are lying in the same plane. This is the point of incidence. So incident ray, normal and the reflected ray all lie in the same plane. So this is the laws of reflection. For example, if we take an activity and if angle I is 60 degree here, this angle is 60 degree, then it is sure that angle R, that is angle of reflection, is also 60 degrees. If we take angle of I 30 degrees, angle R also will be 30 degrees. Similarly, if we take angle I, that is angle of incidence, 45 degrees, angle of reflection also will be 45 degrees. So I hope you understood about laws of reflection. Dear children, now let us see some of the characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror. What is a plane mirror? Dear children, I am sure daily while getting ready for the school or going to somewhere, you might be looking yourself in front of a mirror. That is the plane mirror. So what are the things you observe that? Did you observe till now? If not, from today onwards start observing. So I will be telling you some of the characteristics which you will be able to observe in case of plane mirror. So first of all, the image formed by a plane mirror is erect. So you are not looking yourself upside down in case of plane mirror. As you are looking in your image also. So image is erect. Next one is, it is virtual. The image is not at all real. You can't touch that. So it is virtual. Image cannot be obtained on a screen. If you put a screen, you can't see your image. So you can see only in case of plane mirror. Next one is, image is of the same size as the object. So when you stand in front of a plane mirror, your height and the image height will be exactly the same. There will be no difference in the size of the image and the object. Next one. The image is at the same distance behind the mirror as the object is in front of it. That means if mirror is there here, and how much distance? Suppose one step I am standing in front of the mirror, then the image will be one step back of the mirror. So distance also of in between the mirror and the object and the image and the mirror is same. So if you are standing in front of mirror 1 feet, then total it will be 2 feet. 1 feet from you, object and the mirror, and 1 feet from the mirror to the image. So totally 2 feet. Your image and your distance will be 2 feet. I hope you understood about this. Next one more thing you are able to see. The image formed by a plane mirror show lateral inversion. What does lateral inversion mean, children? The left side of the object is seen on the right side in the image, and the right side of the object appears to be on the left side in the image. Suppose I am putting chocolates in my right hand, but when I see my image, it is looking as if I have taken in left hand. Same way, when I am putting it in my left hand, my image is holding in the right hand. So this is known as lateral inversion. And dear children, you might have noticed ambulance. It is always written opposite. Why it is so, children? So that the people who are driving car, they can see the image, mirror image in their rear view mirror, and they can give way to the ambulance, because ambulance need to rush to hospital very fast. So it is always written opposite, and mirror image it is able people are able to read properly. So these were some of the characteristics of image formed by plane mirror. Dear children, our next topic is regular and diffused reflection. So first let us start with diffused reflection. So here I have drawn diagram for diffused reflection, and in this one you can see regular reflection. Let us try to understand more about regular and diffused reflection. So here what happens? in very neat parallel way it is seen. So when rays of light fall on uneven shiny surface, the reflected rays are scattered in all the directions. See here, it is scattered in all the different directions. So in such cases, reflected rays are not parallel. You can't see them. They are not at all parallel to each other. Such a reflection is called diffused or irregular reflection. And the reason behind, as you already know, irregularity of the reflecting surface. This is the reflecting surface and it is very much irregular. That's why we got diffused reflection. But in case of a smooth surface, when rays of light fall on smooth shiny surface, they are reflected in a particular direction and are parallel. Here you can see, they are all reflected. Incident ray, reflected. Incident ray, reflected. Incident ray, reflected. All are parallel to each other. So such a reflection is called regular reflection. And the reason, smooth reflecting surface. Here, this reflecting surface is very much smooth. That's why we get even or regular reflection. I hope you understood the difference between regular and diffused reflection. Now next topic is periscope. It makes use of two plane mirrors which are placed in Z-shaped box at 45 degrees. Here you can see the Z-shaped box and two mirrors are there which are placed at 45 degrees. Due to reflection from mirror 1, this mirror, it gets reflected, and reflection from mirror 2, this is mirror 2, which are both placed at 45 degrees, we are able to see objects which are not visible to us directly. Here is the eye of the person and the person is not able to see the tree. But with the help of periscope and multiple reflection, the person is able to see the object. So let us see some more applications. It is used in submarines, it is used in tanks, it is used by soldiers in bunkers to see things outside. So like this, many such uses of periscope is there, and it works on the principle of multiple reflection. Dear children, our next topic is kaleidoscope. So what is meant by kaleidoscope? It is based on principle of multiple reflections. In case of periscope, there was two reflections. Here it is more than two. That's why multiple reflections. Now let us see what is the construction of a kaleidoscope. It consists of three plane mirror strips arranged at 60 degrees to each other in a tube. Here you can see 1, 2 and 3rd one is this side. Three mirror strips which is arranged at 60 degrees to each other, and they all are kept inside a tube, circular tube. One end of the tube is closed with two circular glass discs. So what happens? One end we are totally closing. Here you can see we have closed one end, and inner one is transparent. Here inner layer is transparent glass disc, whereas outer layer is of ground glass. It is semi-transparent, translucent we can say. So glass pieces or bangle pieces of various colors are kept between the two discs. Here in between two discs we keep broken bangle pieces or some plastic pieces which may make various patterns in future when we rotate the tube. Other end is covered with transparent glass disc through which we can see the glass pieces. Here you can see I have made one eye. Here we have one more transparent glass disc so that we are able to see the pattern properly. Due to multiple reflections in mirror, hexagonal patterns of colored bangles can be seen. So when we rotate that disc, circular disc, we see hexagonal pattern because due to multiple reflections, and the mirror and the broken bangles or the plastic pieces make various different patterns. So new floral designs appear on rotating slowly. We have to rotate it very slowly against light. So we can see new patterns. And one more interesting fact is that the same pattern will not be repeated again. Every time you rotate it, you will get a new pattern. Now let us see what are the applications of kaleidoscope. So it is used for fabric designing. So fabric designers use it. Next one, wallpaper designs. And of course, artists will use it for doing painting, etc. So here is the diagram for kaleidoscope. You can see 1, 2 and 3 mirror strips placed at 60 degrees angle to each other. Here transparent glass disc, down one is ground disc, and these are the broken pieces of mangle. When you rotate it slowly, you will see different patterns. So this was about kaleidoscope, which works on the principle of multiple reflection.